Shedeur starting on Friday. This will be the highest rated game, preseason game in the history of the NFL, ain't no doubt.
He was never supposed to be here. Nobody had him in the mix. Not on draft day, not during training camp. But guess what? Shedeur Sanders is about to hit the NFL field as the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And everybody's jaws are on the floor. But this man went from being straight up disrespected on draft day to being treated like a camp ghost. Barely getting any snaps with the first team. They acted like he was just there to watch.
The greatest news you'll see today, Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders is expected to start Friday night's preseason opener on the road versus the Carolina Panthers because Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel are both nursing hamstring injuries. This is a game changer.
But now, injuries, last-minute shakeups, and his own unshakable grind just cracked open a door everyone thought was sealed shut forever. And let's be clear, this ain't just another preseason warm-up. This is Shedeur's shot to show he's not just a backup, not just a maybe someday guy. Nah, he's here to prove he's got what it takes to run the whole show. Every scout, every coach, every critic who brushed him off, they better tune in because the game is about to change. Just a few hours ago, ESPN dropped a bomb.
What do you know? What do you know? Long day on the golf course, kids, but oh, the reward. Yes, Shedeur is starting against Carolina, okay? I know half of you are happy, half of you are not happy. I'm thrilled. I want to see this kid. Man, this could be the most watched preseason game in Cleveland Browns history.
Shedeur Sanders is expected to start in the Browns preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers. And right behind that, longtime Browns insider Mary Kay Cabot co-signed the news. This ain't some Twitter rumor flying around. This is official. For the fans who've been riding with Shedeur since Colorado, this is wild to watch. The same dude who was stuck behind vets all training camp. Now he's stepping out as QB1 in his very first NFL appearance. No warm-up, no baby steps, just pressure, lights, cameras, all on him from the jump. And don't get it twisted. This wasn't part of the Browns' master plan.
Shedeur Sanders outperformed Dillon Gabriel in practice, and all that has done is earned him more third and 14 reps, right? So he could play well in his ball game, and the Browns could still be the Browns and not do what's right by him or right by the team. But I say team last because here's the thing. If he goes out there and plays well, and we've seen him play well in practice, it won't be long before the team starts saying, hey, this is the guy that needs to be out there. We saw this back in 2012.
A chain of injuries and setbacks, hamstring problems for Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel suddenly left them with one clear option. The fifth-round rookie they weren't even paying attention to. And now, he's the guy. But this ain't luck. He didn't just trip and fall into this moment. Shedeur stayed ready. He grinded in silence. He watched, learned, and waited. And now that his number's been called, the stakes are sky high. He's not just fighting for a preseason W. He's fighting to flip the whole narrative around his name. Maybe for good. When his name finally got called in the 5th round of the NFL draft, the room was silent. No cheers, no hype, just questions. For weeks, analysts wondered if he'd get picked at all. Some clowned him for being too raw. Others tried to throw dirt, saying he was just a system QB riding off his dad's legacy. And when the Browns picked Dillon Gabriel 2 rounds earlier, that was a clear message. Shedeur wasn't their top pick. That's cold. Not just for Shedeur, but for everybody who's been riding with him since he tore it up at Jackson State and then held his own under all that heat at Colorado. This man earned way more than a 5th-round gamble. But instead of whining or throwing shade on social media, Shedeur stayed locked in and kept grinding. While all that was going down, the media was hyping up Dillon Gabriel. The Browns were feeding reps to Kenny Pickett. Even Joe Flacco. Yeah, that Joe Flacco was catching attention just for being in the building. Dude was supposed to be there for veteran support, but suddenly he's in the mix too. And through all that noise, Shedeur stayed in the shadows. Quiet, overlooked, but never out. And now, he's the one they're counting on. But trust, this ain't the only plot twist in the Browns' QB mess. If you tried to figure out their quarterback room this offseason, you'd need a whiteboard, 5 markers, and a stress ball. What was supposed to be a 4-man race turned into straight chaos. First up, Dillon Gabriel, 3rd-round pick. Everybody thought he was the future franchise guy. Cool. Then here comes Kenny Pickett, fresh out of Pittsburgh, looking to bounce back and prove he still got it. Add in Flacco, Super Bowl champ with a rocket arm, and boom, the room's looking wild already. But wait, the Browns weren't done. Just days before preseason kickoff, they signed former Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley out of nowhere. And just when it looked like Shedeur was stuck behind a traffic jam of QBs, the whole thing collapsed.
Must-see TV for the Cleveland Browns. We knew it at the start of this preseason. It was going to be must-see. Shedeur starting. The crowd's going to go wild. I know it's not even here in the city of Cleveland.
It's gonna be amazing.
Injuries hit like a wrecking ball. Both Gabriel and Pickett pulled up with hamstrings. Flacco? Word is they're saving him for regular season action. Suddenly, all that depth vanished. Now there's only one guy left standing. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie no one wanted to bet on. This wasn't how the Browns drew it up. Shedeur wasn't even in the center of their blueprint. He was barely on the map. But football don't care about plans. The game moves how it wants. And just like that, the door opened and he walked right through it. Now the spotlight's on him. And the stakes? Way higher than preseason hype. One performance could flip the whole story around. And believe this, Shedeur knows what's up. Training camp made one thing loud and clear. He wasn't their guy. He was buried in the rotation. No first-team reps, no leadership moments. Most days, he looked like just another body on the field, like he was there to watch, not play. But that was then. Now, everything's changed, and the whole league's about to see why sleeping on Shedeur Sanders was the biggest mistake they made. For fans, it felt like a slap in the face, watching Shedeur get sidelined while others soaked up the spotlight. But for him, that was fuel in the tank. Behind the scenes, he stayed low-key. No headlines, no drama, just quiet work, grinding day in, day out. And that's exactly why this sudden start hits like an explosion. He ain't in this position because the Browns suddenly changed their mind. Nah, he's here because the whole QB room crumbled, and he was the only one left standing strong. That's not luck. That's hunger meeting the moment. And make no mistake, this ain't just about showing out for Cleveland. This is a full-blown audition for the entire NFL. Because let's be real, if the Browns still aren't sure about him, bet that 31 other teams are watching like hawks, wondering if they should swoop in. Shedeur's not stepping onto the field weighed down by pressure. He's coming in with nothing to lose and everything to prove. The Browns might be trying to play it cool, brushing this off as just preseason. But deep down, they know the deal. If Shedeur goes out there and puts on a show, if he looks like the guy, the whole QB chart could flip overnight. But it doesn't stop there. The real drama is still bubbling. Officially, Joe Flacco is still expected to start the regular season. That's the public line, the veteran, the safe bet, the steady hands. The Browns don't want to risk it on a rookie. At least that's what they say for now. But here's the truth. Preseason changes everything. This ain't some soft scrimmage. These games, they make careers. Reputations get made. Depth charts get flipped. Long shots turn into starters. Legends get their start right here. If Shedeur comes out against Carolina and shows poise, reading defenses, moving the pocket, slinging under pressure, Cleveland's front office is going to have a real decision on their hands. Not a PR move, not a safe bet, a football decision. And the city, the media, and every scout in the league will be watching close. You don't bench the hot hand just because of some draft day pecking order from back in April. You ride the wave. And even if the Browns stick with Flacco, Shedeur's game film will speak loud. GMs from struggling squads will be circling like sharks because real talent, that don't stay buried long. And momentum like this, you can't bottle it up. It might look like just another depth move on the surface, a little insurance in case things go sideways with Shedeur. But look closer, and the timing says something way deeper. Word on the street? This move ain't about replacing Shedeur, it's about backing him up. Joe Flacco ain't expected to touch the field. Gabriel and Pickett, both on the injury list. That means Shedeur is set to handle the first half with Tyler Huntley likely taking the second. This whole setup feels custom-built to give Shedeur a serious run without throwing him to the wolves all at once. Still, fans were sweating. The last thing anyone wanted was for Huntley, a Pro Bowl name, to swoop in and snatch the spotlight. But the way things are shaping up, this signing might have actually protected Shedeur's opportunity instead of threatening it. The Browns ain't putting it in a press release, but come on, actions talk louder than sound bites. They're clearing the runway. Now it's on Shedeur to take flight and not come back down. This isn't some get your feet wet preseason cameo. This is do or die territory, high pressure, big lights, real stakes, the kind of moment that can define an entire career in one night. Shedeur's not walking into this game with a safety net, no fancy endorsements, no promises from the front office. He's stepping into that huddle with expectations strapped to his back and one shot to shut the doubters up for good. Ever since draft day, he's been grinding uphill. No favors, no red carpet, no welcome party. He didn't walk into the league, he fought his way through the door. And now, that door just cracked wide open and suddenly the guy who was sitting at the back of the line is standing right at the front. If he shows out, the Browns might have no choice but to rethink everything. The depth chart, the season game plan, maybe even the entire quarterback room moving forward. But if he stumbles, the label hits quick. Just another college kid who couldn't handle the league. That's how razor thin the line is. That's the weight of the moment. But if you've been following Shedeur long enough, you already know. Pressure don't crush him, it activates him. He's been making miracles out of scraps his whole career. Now, he's got the snaps, he's got the stage, cameras are rolling, reps are real, and for once, the spotlight's his. This is his moment to prove he's more than just Coach Prime's son, because after this, his game will do the talking. Shedeur Sanders ain't just stepping into a game, he's stepping into a spotlight that's been following him since day one. Ever since his pops, Deion Coach Prime Sanders, flipped the college football world upside down. Every move Shedeur made has been under the microscope. Every pass, every choice, every step, all of it's been picked apart, compared, doubted, or hyped. And now, with Shedeur starting for the Cleveland Browns, that spotlight just got 10 times brighter. The noise around him, it's never been louder. Fans been split since the jump. Some say Shedeur's built for greatness, pointing to his calm under pressure, his crazy arm strength, and that fire in his eyes. Others still think he's just riding off the hype, catching shine off his last name. But truth is, it doesn't matter what side you're on, because one thing's for sure, everybody's watching. Every snap he takes, every read he makes, every ball he throws, it's all gonna get clipped, posted, slowed down, and dissected online within seconds. If he goes off, the cheers will be deafening. But if he slips up, the backlash will be brutal, then fast. But here's the difference. Shedeur's not new to pressure. This spotlight, it doesn't scare him. He's used to it. He's not chasing clout. He's chasing respect. He's not out here to impress the media. He's here to prove he belongs with the best. And Friday night, this ain't just a preseason game. This could be the night that flips everything. It's his first real shot to show the whole league what he's made of, and whether folks love him or doubt him, they're about to see the truth for themselves. Now, if you rocked with this story, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and turn on that bell so you never miss a moment like this again. Share this with someone who's been sleeping on Shedeur Sanders, and we'll catch you in the next one.